Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Jay. Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you guys how you guys can make a Fortnite clan in 2023. Now before we hop right into this video, I do just want to say thank you for all the support lately, and let's try and get this video to 10 likes. And along with the series, I'll be going over the process of how I'm making my clan and what works and what doesn't work, so you guys don't have to test it out yourself. We will actually have an experiment going on with my team, and if you know any tips that I miss out in the series, you can let me know and we'll go over that in a video as well. Without further ado, let's hop right into today's video. Now for step one, probably one of the most important parts of your team is the name. You need to have a really cool name. Now you don't just want to have some random word like Nutcracker. You want to have something kind of cool, like a team I used to have was Team Electron or something like that. Electron is not even that cool, but it gave us some logo. Just like, this is very important. This is what your team is known as. As well, something you might want to think about is what the abbreviation might be for when people use your, if your people or your team members put the abbreviation in their name on the game. That also is important. You have to have the same one for everybody, so everybody has it's more of a branding. It just helps promote your team. That's also very important. So come up with a cool name. I would recommend just come up with one. Don't do a generator. Generators always have stupid names, and make sure nobody has this name taken on social media. So YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, make sure they have if there is one, make sure they have under 100 subscribers and they haven't posted too long, in a while. So just keep that in mind as well. Now for the second step, you need to have a good logo. You can get somebody to pay somebody on Twitter or Fiverr or whatever, or you can make one. I made mine. My team name is actually Team H2O, so please do not use Team H2O because I'm already using it, and it doesn't make sense to have two Team H2Os. I won't give you any ideas because it needs to be something original that kind of means something to you, but I think Team H2O just sounds really cool. The abbreviation of H2O, J or whatever, it's just going to be cool. So those are the first two steps of the process, and probably the two most important steps for your team. Now the next part of the process, which is also very important, is the recruiting process. This is by far the hardest process of the entire thing, in my opinion, outside of growth. Now in order to have a good recruiting, you need to either make a recruiting video, which I'll go into that in a minute, or B, have friends that are already good enough at the game that you can have them join for a little bit. Another thing I've seen people do is they have way too much going on with their roster. They have creative warriors, trick shotters, competitive players. To start, I would keep it simple and small and just have 3 or 4 creative warriors that can get you good clips for montages to start, because montages are always a decent way to start from the bottom and grow a little bit. So I would get 3 or 4 good creative warriors to use as clips. That would just help out a ton. I would also, when you're recruiting, don't go for everything at once. I would, go for creative warriors, and if you're already a really good competitive players and you have friends that are good competitive players that are going to join your team, you can get some competitive players because you already have credibility without that following of just placements. Put your abbreviation in your name so people think of your team as a top team. If you're placing top 700-ish in cash cups and FNCS and stuff, that's decent for your team already to start as such a small team. Don't go for too much at once. Get 4 or 5 creative warriors if you're not a big competitive player. That just make sure they're good, make sure they can have good high quality clips, and make sure they're already posting on YouTube and Twitter. So yeah, the next type of recruits you need is social media managers. If you want to do that, a community manager would actually help you out tons, so you don't have to worry about all the social media stuff and community events and such like that. Those are two important pieces, a VFX and a GFX. You might need at least 1 or 2 of those just to edit your videos and make your pictures and thumbnails and stuff like that. That's all you really need out to start with. I would also use a Discord as kind of the center location of your team where people can interact with you guys. A lot of people say you should use Twitter, but not everybody has Twitter, especially the younger generations, which eventually will become the new generation of the game. I'm not saying have a bunch of young kids on your team, because that gets really annoying, but you need to have something like a Discord where people can interact and you get to know these kids and you can see them mature. Because if you have it something where the younger kids can come, you can get some really young players that aren't going to grow out of the game as fast as some of these older guys will. So that's just something you got to think about, is where do you want your central like kind of home-based platform to be for all your team members. I think Discord's always the easiest. It's most organization, and you can have everything in one place kind of thing. So that's why I would use my Discord, and that's just how I would recruit people as well. Now the next part of the process, which might actually be one of the easiest part of the process, is the recruitment video. The recruitment video and the content is either really easy or really hard, depending on what kind of team you want to be. Now if you're just doing competitive gameplay, you have a good competitive player, make sure your quality is really good, have some background noise, and make sure they're good at the game, make sure they're having good games. It doesn't matter if they're placing well, but if they're getting wins in tournaments, and just have highlight videos or something like that. Or if you're like more creative warrior type and you just have good, make sure the over edits are really good. How like you need to pay a little bit of money. I know a lot of people don't want to do that, including myself. I hate paying money for something I don't know how long it's going to last, but this would just help you out a ton. Now that you have everything you need to create a good, successful team, all the basic pieces you need, now you just have to enjoy the process. Don't try and rush it. Success doesn't happen overnight. And remember, just focus on having good quality content, fun play, like really good players or really funny players, and just make good content, make something original, enjoy it. This is supposed to be fun. Don't worry about the money so much, because with esports teams, the money doesn't come in until you're really, really big, and that's going to take a while from starting from the bottom. So just enjoy the process. Get people to help you, appreciate people's help and opinions. It's not always going to be done your way, and just like let it happen, let everything come natural to you. I would listen to some steps, and I would just stay away from Instagram, because Instagram is so saturated. It's almost impossible to grow on that platform. Now of course, I will be making more steps and going into depth on more of these steps on how you can grow and such in later videos. If this video gets to 10 likes, I will release a new video on how to grow on New Year's Eve. So let's try and get this video to 10 likes, and if you made it this far, please comment H2O on top. That's just how I know who made it to the end of the video. That's all I have for you guys in these videos. I'm Jay. I am out, guys. Peace.